Hello everyone, welcome back to Centrix. Well, today we'll be discussing about the Apple I computer. The Apple I computer is the first computer released by Apple in 1976 by Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak. First, let us have a look at these letters and these numbers from 1 to 18. These letters and numbers make a nearly perfect grid of every major chip on this board. For example, I don't know, C11 is these two chips. Okay, we can also divide this board roughly into three parts. Here is a regular power supply section. The bottom two rows is the computer and the top two rows is the terminal or the video display. This terminal functions like the dumb text terminal. The Apple one sold for $666, which may seem expensive. But a year before you could buy a Kim one for $245, which was reasonably cheap. But to run BASIC, you had to have a dumb text terminal, which would cost about $1,000. So the Apple one running at $666 was a good deal. This terminal creates a very limited Apple One video system. You can't edit anywhere on the screen, means you cannot redefine characters. So playing arcade games on the Apple One, nah, you won't be able to play them. Now, let me explain something. The CPU sends text characters to the terminal section and the terminal section prints them onto the screen. Now, where are these ASCII characters stored? There's no video RAM in the Apple one. Well, these ASCII characters are stored in shift registers. Moving on to the CPU, the computer can take either a 6502 MOS CPU or a 6800 Motorola CPU. This particular board is using the 6502 microprocessor, where you just have to fill in these two blobs, fill these two holes with a blob of solder. For the Motorola, you have to populate the chip here, and you have to, add some other stuff just for the Motorola. Now the ROM. The Apple one has 256 bytes of ROM. That is 64 times smaller than the VIC-20 with 16 kilobytes. The operating system is very primitive. It's called Wasman. It's one step better than programming the Altair with toggle switches to enter the bytecode. In Wasman, you have to enter in basic. Sorry, you don't. In machine language. In Wasman, you have to enter the code in machine language. Okay, so now you want basic. You want to run basic. Well, there's no basic in RAM, so you have to use a cassette. But how? Oh, there's no cassette interface or somewhere like that. But with the Apple one, they sold separately an ACI or the Apple Cassette Interface. You'll have to plug it in this section, this female connector, and then you have and run basic through cassette by using any cassette recorder.